Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you a way that I use strips of color to make papers that will be used for different projects. Here are a few examples that I've already done. These three are on regular copy paper. And these are made from labels. I will show you both in this video. So I do want to mention here, these smaller ones that are made with the labels were a little bit flimsy, so I actually put two labels together and then added the color strips. So I will show you that later on in the video. Also, you don't have to use white paper on the back. I used white simply because I'm going to be using them for tags and things that I might want to write on the back. For this project, you'll need whatever papers you want on the back side of your strips. I have copy paper here, glue stick or your favorite glue for gluing papers together, scissors for cutting off the edges, and your strips of paper. I have swatches that I've gotten from magazines. I've either torn them out or cut them out, and then I put them in folders in the file cabinet, and then whenever I need that particular color, I have them. So that's what I'll be using with these. What we want to do is we want to get a piece of paper, whichever paper we're using for the background, and then whichever design or color we are going to use for the strips. In this case, we're going to use purple. I like to use two different colors so that you have some contrast. Most of these were done with the main color and then black. As you can see, it gives some contrast to the papers. This one I used black, and I also used some patterned papers to give it a little bit of a pop. This one I also used patterned papers with the black, and these are all just black with the blue. So we'll use purple and brown. After you've got your supplies ready, you want to take your colors and you just want to start tearing strips. Just tear up all your pieces. You don't have to have all long strips. There are going to be spaces that you've got to fill in with shorter pieces. If you want more variation within your piece, you can tear all your strips smaller. Okay, so once you have all your strips torn, then you start gluing to your page. I'm going to start with a straight edge so that I can just put it up against the edge of the paper. And I'm just going to put glue on the strip, and then I'm going to take that strip and glue it down. And I usually just tear it off. And I'll go ahead and glue a straight edge down at the bottom also. Once I get the strips glued down on the two ends, I go ahead and start filling in the middle. How I do that is I take some that are similar, the ones that are from the same piece of paper, and then I will glue it across the paper. Again, they do not have to reach all the way across the paper. These just happen to stretch across the page, so that is what I'm doing. You can, for instance, tear this one in two and place it down in two separate spots. I just like to make sure that each color swatch has a piece of it in at least 2 or 3 different places on the paper to tie it all together. We're going to start filling in these empty spaces, layering shorter pieces. If it starts to cover too much, then you can always just tear a piece off and put it somewhere else. For the pieces that are short like this that have 2 straight edges on the end, I just go ahead and tear one of them. So you basically just keep filling in the white spot until you have all those spots filled. So here we have our finished piece. I'm just going to take the scissors, I'll flip it over and cut off the ends. And there is our completed piece ready to be used in whatever project we want to use it in. And I'm going to grab a couple labels. I'm going to take one of those labels, flip it over and pull the backing down and fold the backing just a little so that I can take it and line it up with this other one. Press it down when I get it into place. I'm going to lift that top sheet up and get a hold of the backing. I'm going to smooth this down as I peel the backing off of the second label. And that is how I make the label thicker. I'm going to peel the backing off of the other side. And then I'm just going to take my strips and I'm going to start placing them on the back of the label. Just like I did my full sheet of paper. I'm going to use some black on this piece instead of brown. Just so that this piece is a little different. Just like your full sheet, you want to get several lines of the same swatches on there, and then just begin filling in the holes as you go. So the difference between putting them on the large sheets of paper and the labels is that, of course, the label is sticky. So you can stick most of your strips down to the labels. But you get to a point where you do need to start using your glue stick to glue some of the pieces down. It goes a lot quicker with the labels because you don't have to put glue on every single piece. But you will have to glue some of them. And here is the small one finished. So there are 2 finished pieces. Okay guys, so it's been a while since I started this video, several months in fact. Some of you that have seen my sister's channel probably know that I had to have surgery back in January. I wasn't able to do pretty much anything at all for a while. They removed a large cyst from my belly. Since my surgery, a few other things have happened that have made me put off doing a lot of videos, and I'm hoping to get back to it soon, Lord willing. I did want you to know that I'm coming back to this video from several months ago, so if something seems kind of weird, that's why. It's just been a while since I started it. But I did want to show you, these are the ones that we had finished back then. Of course, the one that I worked on in the video, and the label one on that one. Since I couldn't do a whole lot, I did do a few more in other colors just to give y'all an example of what some of those might look like. This one, I thought it'd be fun to kind of put the strips on at an angle just to see how it turned out. I really like how that one turned out. I didn't do a big one in black and white, but I might later on. I plan on making some stuff out of these, so I will come back once I have some of those done and let you see what that looks like. Okay guys, so I made a bunch more of these in different colors: grays, brown, gold, pinks, blue and turquoise, and the ones I had at the beginning of the video. And I have several things that I have made with them. These are little notebooks. I just used one of the labels to make the book cover. Same thing with this one. This is a bookmark I made. I plan on decorating the back side later. These are some tags that I just cut out with my metal die. These are just the labels with the corners rounded to use as journaling cards. This is just a pocket tag that I cut out with one of my metal dies. These are some tickets that I cut out also using a metal die. These would look good as strips or detached. These are also tickets. These are handmade ticket strips that I use scrapbooking paper for the background. These are the rectangles that I had left over from that. I'll probably use those as just little tags or something to put in pockets. And this is an envelope that I covered with the gray strips. I basically just covered the front and then turned it over, covered the top of the flap, and then I unfolded it to finish doing the rest of the flap. But as you can see, it makes a pretty nice looking envelope. Also, I cut some random things using some of my other dies. These are banners. and things that you can use to accent your projects with. So already I've made quite a few things out of them. This project has been really fun for me because I love all the unique results that I got from all the magazine strips. That's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, click on that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and come back and see us.